Around Kansas, brought to you by
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter. Well, we're spending a lot of time in the West today, so...
Works for me.
Yeah.
Works for me. Yeah, we just had Ron with another great poem, and yeah, this is all about Salute Ron today.
Yeah.
Salute.
Well, and also, 1876, that's when was Custer's last stand.
It was.
Up there in the greasy grass.
This is the 140th anniversary this year, so a lot going on. Our good friend Jerry Russell out in Scott City is actually doing a commemorative painting. So a lot of folks that we know are involved in marking the 140th anniversary of the Little Bighorn. So Dr. Jake was in town the other day, and we went over to KU, to the Natural History Museum, the Dyche Museum, to visit Comanche. And the story we're going to share today is about Comanche, the survivor of Custer's unit at the last stand. If you go over to KU to see Comanche, he's on the 4th floor now. He has been refurbished.
That's good.
Bless his heart.
Getting a little...
He was actually, Comanche died in 1891, and he was, the taxidermy was performed by Mr. Dyche, Louis Dyche, for whom Dyche Hall is named. And he was put on display at the Columbian Exhibition in 1893. So that's where he first went on display. And then he eventually came to KU, where he has been at home ever since. So it's just incredible. The whole thing's incredible. We could do a story on Comanche, honestly, every week and not hit all the facets, but it was really...
Her office has this gigantic painting of Custer's last stand. So you come down the hallway.
Custer's last fight. That's the official name. It's the Anheuser-Busch Custer's last fight. And the artist who was commissioned to do that had just done a painting on the Zulu Wars. So it is not historically accurate. The Sioux shields are like Zulu shields, and so the historical accuracy of this painting leaves much to be desired, but the imagination and oh my God, it's one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
So, let's see a story about Comanche.
He was a buckskin gelding, 15 hands high, with a small white star on his forehead. He was purchased in St. Louis by the 7th Cavalry in 1868 for $90 and sent to Fort Leavenworth. There, Comanche was chosen to be the personal mount of Captain Myles Keogh, commander of Company I. The handsome Irishman had served in the army of the Pope during an uprising in Italy and had come to America in time to take part in dozens of Civil War battles, including Gettysburg and the largest cavalry engagement of that war, Brandy Station. He knew horses, so Comanche must have been impressive. It was Keogh's fate to die with George Armstrong Custer and more than 200 of his comrades at the Little Bighorn on June 25, 1876. 2 days later, Comanche was found in a ravine, badly wounded, very weak, and barely able to stand. The horse suffered 3 severe wounds, through his neck, through his front shoulder, and to his hindquarter, and 4 flesh wounds. Comanche was transported to Fort Lincoln aboard the steamer the Far West. A special sling and stall were built for him to recuperate. In 1878, Comanche was sent to Fort Riley, home of the 7th Cavalry, and Colonel Sturgis ordered that the horse known as Comanche, being the only living representative of the bloody tragedy of the Little Bighorn, his kind treatment and comfort should be a matter of special pride and solicitude on the part of the 7th Cavalry, to the end that his life may be prolonged to the utmost limit. Though wounded and scarred, his very silence speaks in terms more eloquent than words of the desperate struggle against overwhelming odds of the hopeless conflict and heroic manner in which all went down that day. He will not be ridden by any person whatever, under any circumstances, nor will he be put to any kind of work. Hereafter, upon all occasions of ceremony, Comanche, saddled, bridled, and led by a mounted trooper of Troop I, will will be paraded with the regiment. When Comanche died in 1891, a farrier was by his side, feeling his pulse and looking Comanche in the eye. The farrier wrote, "This night long to be remembered."
Well, we hope you enjoyed the show today. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere
Around
Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Let me tell you, Kansas is